In 1969, a man walked up to a parked car on a quiet California road and pulled the trigger. Then he mailed a letter to the newspaper, daring police to catch him. They never did. For over 50 years, one killer has outsmarted the FBI, the press, and every cryptographer who dared crack his code. His name? He gave it himself. The Zodiac. And tonight, we walk into the shadows where he still waits. Northern California, the late 1960s, a time of peace signs, protest songs, and a strange new fear spreading through the Bay Area because something was hunting in the dark. It started on a cold December night in 1968. Two teenagers, David and Betty Lou, drove to a quiet pullout in Benicia. They were in love. They were alone. They would not survive the night. A second vehicle pulled up behind them. A figure stepped out. No words were spoken, just gunshots splitting the silence, and two bodies left in the gravel. Police found no motive, no witnesses, no suspect, just two young lives extinguished without reason. It was the beginning of something no one yet understood. 7 months later, July 4th, 1969, Blue Rock Springs Park. Another couple, another parked car. And history about to repeat itself. Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau sat talking inside her Corvair. Suddenly, a car pulled alongside. A blinding flashlight, then the flashes of a pistol. Darlene died before reaching the hospital. Michael survived, barely, and gave police a description, but the killer was already gone. And he wasn't finished. Less than an hour later, a man called the Vallejo Police Department. His voice was calm, cold. He confessed to the shooting and to the murders in Benicia. Police had their first real clue, but they didn't yet have a name. That would come soon, written in a killer's own hand. On August 1st, 3 Bay Area newspapers each received an envelope. Inside, a letter, written by the killer himself, demanding to be heard. He claimed responsibility for the murders. He revealed details only the killer could know, and he included something stranger still, a coded message split into 3 parts. If the newspapers did not publish the cipher on the front page, he warned, he would go on a killing spree. They published it, and the nation watched in horror. A week later, a school teacher and his wife sat down with the cipher. Within days, they cracked it, and what they read chilled them to the bone. "I like killing people because it is so much fun," the message began. "It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest." The killer had spoken, and he was just getting started. Then came a second letter, and this time he signed it, not with a name, but with a symbol. A crosshair, a circle split by a cross, the mark of the Zodiac. September 27th, 1969, Lake Berryessa. 2 college students picnicking by the water. They would become the only Zodiac victims to see his face, even if it was hidden. He approached in a black hooded costume, stitched onto his chest, the same crosshair symbol. He carried a gun and a knife. He tied them up, spoke softly, then stabbed them both, again and again. Somehow, Brian Hartnell survived. Cecilia Shepard did not. Before leaving, the Zodiac did something bizarre. He walked to Hartnell's car and drew his symbol on the door, along with the dates of every murder so far. 2 weeks later, San Francisco. A taxi pulled up to the corner of Washington and Cherry. The driver's name was Paul Stein. He had minutes to live. A single gunshot, close range. Then, astonishingly, the killer tore a piece of Stein's bloodied shirt, a souvenir. He'd mail it later, to prove it was him. 2 teenagers witnessed him from a window. Police arrived within minutes. A sketch was made. For the first time, America saw his face, or at least a shadow of it. That sketch still exists today. So does the fingerprint. So does the handwriting. And still, no match, no name, no justice. The letters kept coming. More ciphers, more taunts, bomb threats against school buses, threats against children. The Bay Area held its breath. He claimed to have killed 37 people. Police could only confirm 5. Was he inflating his body count to spread terror? Or were there victims no one had ever connected? Over the years, suspects emerged. The most famous, Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted offender, a man whose handwriting was strange, whose behavior was stranger. One survivor pointed him out, A friend claimed he confessed, but DNA testing years later excluded him, and the case went cold again. Other names followed: a former police officer, a Navy codebreaker, even a famous artist's stepfather. The internet spun theories. Podcasts devoured the case. And then, in 2020, a breakthrough. After 51 years, amateur codebreakers finally cracked the infamous 340 cipher. What it revealed was haunting. "I am not afraid of the gas chamber," the message read. No name, no confession, just more mockery, more ghosts, more questions. In 2021, a private group called the Casebreakers announced they had identified the killer. The FBI was skeptical. The family denied everything. The case remained officially unsolved. So who was he? A loner? A veteran? A family man who came home, kissed his children, and slipped into the night? That is the terror of the Zodiac. He could have been anyone. He could have sat beside you at a diner, walked past you on the street, smiled at your children. That is why, 50 years later, the fear has never quite faded. Every year, new theories surface, new books, new suspects. Every year, nothing. The ciphers remain, the letters remain, the silence remains. If he's still alive, he's an old man now, perhaps watching, perhaps laughing, perhaps finally afraid, or perhaps he died decades ago, his secret carried into the earth. But somewhere, in a quiet police archive, the files still wait. The sketch still stares. The crosshair still marks the page. And justice still waits. The Zodiac Killer left behind letters, ciphers, and corpses, but never his name. He wanted the world to remember him. And tragically, we do. But somewhere out there, the truth is still waiting to be uncovered. Who do you think he was? Drop your theories in the comments below. If this investigation gripped you, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because next week we open another cold case the world forgot. Until then, stay curious and stay safe.